Hi friends, welcome back for another little video over here at Eric's Arts and Crafts channel. I'm kidding. Anyway, today you just saw outside of my window. This is the first snowstorm, I would say, of the year that we've seen in Chicago. It snowed yesterday and I cleaned, and it snowed again last night, and we're expecting below freezing temperatures tonight. So I shoveled again and I salted again because I want to avoid any ice building up on the sidewalk. But anyway, my body is sore already, which is great because I love a reminder of all the muscles I have. So it kind of feels good. So today, what we're doing are some ink swatches for actually the website called Ink Swatch. And what you do is you prepare little squares like this on watercolor paper that you can either scan and email to the team over at Ink Swatch, or you can send the physical ink swatches for them to scan. I prefer to mail them in because, first of all, I don't have a scanner, and second of all, I don't want to worry about calibrating the color against the physical swatch. So just really quick, Ink Swatch is a fantastic website where you can compare ink colors, specific ink colors. Let's say that you have a diamine, I don't know, what's a green color, diamine something green, or the famous Aurora Borealis. Let's say you want to compare that against other colors. So you go to the website, you put in the information, and it should bring up other inks that are similar in that color range, so you can compare them side by side. It's a wonderful website, and it's so fun to be able to help build this huge database of information. And it's so relaxing as well. Like these days with winter and the cold months, you're just kind of stuck inside and get a little sad, a little depressed. And this is such a great way to do a little something that is crafty, a little bit mindless, fun, and you're able to contribute to a project. So I'm doing these again. I actually hadn't done these on camera because I did them before, and just because I wanted to send in my three shop exclusive colors, but I realized that I did them wrong. And I did them wrong because they should be like this. The ink wash, or yeah, the ink color should be on this portion, and then the little dots with the water test should be on this portion. So I didn't realize until I was about to gather all the information to send them in, and I was like, oh wait, these are wrong, because I had already like made a bunch of them, and it just I don't know, it made sense in my head that you should have a large swatch, but no, it's like this. So anyway, the watercolor paper that we are using is this Canson watercolor pad. It is cold press. It is the 9x12, and it's the 140 pound or 300 gram. And I'll put the website in the description, and they also have another video done by the other team member who goes through the process. So anyway, yes, you do three. It's basically squares that are 3 inches by 3 inches. Let me put these aside because these are wrong. Don't look at these, friends. But they're pretty to look at. So yeah, I'll put them right there. So the squares are 3 inches by 3 inches, and this section right here is 1 1/4. And yeah, so I'm gonna do one in front with you guys, and then hopefully I will be able to send them in and they won't be wrong. So okay, let me switch over to a new page. I'm using an old Hobonichi from 2022, I believe, just so that I can do my ink swatch and not get my table dirty. So okay, first I'm gonna get a clean brush. Excuse my really old and destroyed water brush, but I'm gonna start with the pink because the yellow can be a little, well, no, I'll do the yellow because I should probably do lightest to dark, just for ease of cleanability. I have 2 things of water, one to dunk in my dirty brush, and then one to do the little water test. So here we go, friends. Ooh, I think I just contaminated my ink bottle. I sure did. Shoot. So I didn't look and this brush was dirty and I hadn't noticed it, and now I gotta go get yeah, that's contaminated. That's not the color. It's cool. Oh man. It was a brand new bottle too. Ugh, okay, whatever. Luckily, I know who stocks these inks, so let me go get a new one. Alrighty, friends. So thankfully, I know an ink dealer who has a ton of these. So I just went and got a new one. I also got a brand new clean brush, just because that other one kept, I kept cleaning it, and I was trying to test with a paper towel and it was still pushing like a greenish color. So I'm just gonna let it be for a while. I don't want to contaminate another new bottle. So let's just get going. And so lessons learned, just make sure that your brush is indeed really clean. And I would suggest, if you're doing multiple swatches in like at once, I would do from lighter to darker. That way, if you're only using one brush, you're not spending a lot of time cleaning it. So, okay, let's get going. So this is like a super bad brand. It's like super cheap. So I'm just using what I have here, friends. Okay, so again, the ink swatch, the color goes on the top, the smaller section. Look at that pretty color. I know people shy away from yellows because they can be a little light. But before we launched Amarillo Antiguo, that's one of the things I actually was concerned about. So I tested it and I was pretty happy with how it came out. It is light if you're using a fine fountain pen, but if you're using medium to broad, you should be fine. So, okay, there's the first part of our ink swatch. It looks really pretty already. And next, we're gonna do our little dots. And it's super easy, friends. This is why I find it so relaxing. Such a fun little activity. Go ahead and, I think in the video, you can get 12 of these little cards out of one page from the watercolor pad. So, you know, if you have, first of all, make sure, go to ink swatch and make sure that the colors you're doing are not already there. That way, you're not duplicating somebody else's work. You're just adding to it. Otherwise, you're just not, you could do these for you, of course, but they won't be able to use them if they're already in the database. So make sure they're not there, or do them for you, and then just, you know, get your little cup of tea, coffee, whatever your favorite beverage, and just sit down, put on some music, your favorite YouTube videos, your movies, series, and have yourself a little ink swatching session. It's so relaxing, so fun. Okay, I should clean my brush before I dunk it in water, because I want to get rid of all that, well, as much of the ink as possible. And let me see, that's pretty clean. So, and then I'm gonna get clean water, and then these little marks should be dry by now. And what we're doing here is testing the water resistance of the ink. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. And all good. So it's not very water resistant, but you can get a hint of what was underneath. And as you can see with the pink one, that's not water resistant at all. Like, the color is pretty much washed. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is put a little name over here. You always want to put in the brand and the color. But I know I'm not concerned because these are very distinct colors. I'm not gonna confuse them, so I'm just gonna do them all. Excuse my doggies. I'm gonna sit down and do them all, and then at the end I'm gonna label them. I'm gonna take a risk here and use the other brush that ruined my yellow ink bottle. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna go all the way to here. That's probably how you should do how you should use water brushes. But I'm only gonna use this because this is a portion in my little tissue paper. This right here is a portion that's pulling in like a mixture of inks. So I'm just gonna be very, very careful. And I really need to be extra careful with that color because I am down to my like last 6 or 7 bottles in my little shop, and I don't know if I'm gonna do a restock just yet. And if I do a restock, then I have to order a large quantity of inks. But I'm kind of glad it's almost sold out because this is the second batch. So people are loving it and it's doing really well, and I'm glad. Okay, this was great because this is probably a better watercolor brush than the other one I was just using right now, because sorry, I want to get that as straight as possible. One little dip was enough to get my little swatch going. I didn't have to keep dunking the brush in the ink. Alrighty, let's see if we can get more of that color out of our brush so we can clean it. And I need to somehow mark this like bad. This is a bad ink bottle. Okay. And I think for the last color, I'm gonna go back to the first brush I was using, just because I know this is cleaner than that one. And again, I don't want to risk another accident. And I will do the same thing where I'm gonna avoid that section. I don't think they require a certain amount of dots or whatever here of these little tally marks, but as long as you do enough that you can see the... Oh, and actually I forgot to do that here. I need to do that. So let's get the ink off our brush as much as possible, and I think I'm just gonna do the... Let me get this out before. Yes. Okay, and let me just put the cap back on. We don't want any accidents. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here so we can see. And that's pretty clean. So let's do the pink one first. Let's check that water resistance. Yeah, see friends, that's gone. And take that water off. I should probably switch to a new paper towel, but that's okay. Okay, as long as we don't have any of the color, then we're good. So these look pretty much dry now, so let's do the same. I always worry that there's like too much water on my brush, but I think we should be okay. Lovely. There we go. Oops. Alrighty, all we need to do now is to label our inks. So let me do that really quick. Okay, friends, we are all set with our little ink swatches. Quick little project, quick little something mindless to do. It's still fun. So again, these are wrong, but I'm still gonna keep them because they're kind of cute. I'll use them for my little pictures or whatever. I love the three colors together. Just a little reminder, Azul Frida was her first color. No. Rosa Mexicano was the first color we launched. And then was Azul Frida. And then Amarillo Antiguo. And the purpose of having all three of these colors was to kind of mimic a CMYK color format where you can mix the colors and make your own. So hopefully you do that, friends. There's already been a few people who've attempted their own. I get the two that come to mind are Nips and Flourishes, and then Karina Loves to Plan. So go check out their Instagrams and YouTube videos. And I hope you enjoyed this little quick ink swatching method. And if you would like to and you have unique inks, you contribute them to the website. So thanks for watching, friends. Catch you again later. Bye-bye.